It is November the 27th, Monday. I'm so happy to see you all today. I know it's 27th because tomorrow's my wife's birthday, and I've been reminded of that many times. There's a closet full of things she's already bought for herself that I can give her. This is for the presents. Man, I've been married a really long time. Thinking of presents is tough.
Why don't you run that off?
I don't give jewelry anymore. My wife just wears. She doesn't wear gold and diamonds much anymore. So what's a boy to do?
Buy her something she wore out.
I can't even keep up. She's like goes to thrift stores. She's a lot of stuff. She's very cotton.
New car.
You're a board member now?
Oh, yeah. What is that?
Mobile Chamber Music?
Yeah.
It's a society that has been around over 50 years, and we promote 5 concerts a year. Mainly like string quartets, piano trios, stuff like that. You know, chamber music. They do have a brass thing this year, then, maybe the Western ones. Not sure. Anyway, we raise money and do stuff like that. I've been on the board since 2004, and I just recently resigned, and immediately upon my resignation, the president died. So I've sort of come back into it, but you're the reason. Actually, I recommend you. I was asked, what junior could I recommend to be on the board? All of you. You're welcome. Put that on your resume now. I did. And now I'm a full professor at a state institution. I'll tell you how that all works. If you have your doctorate, you can become a tenure-track professor. And then for 6 years, you're an assistant professor. And at 3 years, you have a mid-tenure review that only goes before your department and your boss. Then at 6 years, you have a tenure review, and if you fail, you have 1 more year to work. But any time up to the end of the 6 years, you can be fired in any semester. And then, if first your department votes on you, then the college votes on you, and then the Board of Regents, Board of Regents is the last people. And it's a long year. You put your stuff in October and you don't hear until May 15th or something. It's just a really tough year. Hardest thing about getting tenure is being nice to your colleagues for 6 straight years. Although it's pretty easy here. Other places it's a lot harder, but here it's easy to get along with people.
You're nice.
And then, after you become a full associate professor, once you get tenure, you also go up for promotion. When you get promoted to associate professor, you get some amount of money raise, I forget, maybe like $4,000 raise, or maybe more. And then, in between more than 2 years, you go up for full professor. And then you don't have to do stuff after that, provided you don't break the law or the state doesn't do something strange. You pretty much have employment. With employment comes health insurance and retirement and all that kind of stuff that I didn't really think about until I was about 58 years old, honestly. Okay. today, how that got from mobile chamber music to that, I don't know. I used chamber music as my service to the community while I was doing 10 meetings. And I did a really nice job for them. I was the treasurer for years and years. And I made it so hard for people to spend money, to just give our money. But now we're trying to, I just couldn't do it anymore. Okay, this is the beginning of a invention in D minor. Okay, not Bach's invention, but an invention. So here's how that goes. Okay. Probably what happens next is what?
It's repeating things.
Yes.
Now, it could do several things. It could do exactly the same, and let's do that. Let's just do the exact same thing. Okay. It also looks like we could repeat it again. But now we have to do this. What? We have to have an accompaniment or a counter motive.
Accompaniment.
Which one? The top one or the bottom one?
Well, we're not going to do anything here. We're going to do something here. So this is going to be one of those inventions that starts without an accompaniment. Now, this needs to be in an accompaniment or a counter motive. Counter motive is something that would be maintained through something, the piece. All right, so what do you think would happen here? What's going to happen here? This doesn't have to be a quarter note. It could be a stemless note. It's probably going to be at least an eighth note, don't you think? So that you could harmonize this F. Now, we may not want it to be a D when it gets to here, right? And what is it that we want here is not a, probably a C sharp, don't you think? Now, and if we repeated that again here, we would need this material to go here. Does that make sense? Okay, so we need to make some material here. Probably not a D. Y'all ever walk around the forest here on campus?
The bike trails.
What's it called?
The nature trail.
Glen somebody.
Sebastian.
I walk like, if you like keep circling around, you can go like 2 or 3 miles. It's very nice walking there. You get to see some dogs. And some. Okay, so what am I going to do here? This doesn't seem like what I've written is correct. It's just not very interesting, probably. let me try that again. I think I must have had my hands. There's 3 black notes and 2 black notes. There we go. Okay, I'm not really satisfied with my counter motive there. It needs something. But what am I trying to do, kind of, is keep a 16th note composite rhythm. Now we have to see how it would work in its inversion, right? Let's hear how that sounds. Wasn't that exciting? It is what it is. That was that helpful? It is what it is? Okay.
It all sounds the same.
It really does, doesn't it? Now, what is gonna happen next is this. We're gonna repeat this one more time. I know, boring. Oh, there's no bar line there. Good grief. Hey! Now what needs to happen next is, I was just thinking about you, Ahmad. We need to move on to something else. And what is the next thing that would most likely happen in the big sense? Not like the next note, but the next, what would happen?
The orchestra.
If they had been hired.
Modulation.
To what?
Relative mind.
Major.
Dominant.
Relative.
Oh, right, yeah, you know what I meant. Yeah.
We've all had enough of relatives by now, I'm sure. That's true. So, let's see if this hokey bit of counterpoint can survive. Now, what I want to do now is start a little something, something. We're gonna go double staves. Okay, so the note in the bass, it's gonna be a D, right? But now we wanna start a what to get to the modulation? Yes! A theory word was spoken and it was the correct one! I feel validated. Shink.
What's that?
Okay, so, well, I've left my paper over here.
You're struggling. It's been another morning. We had
Well,
I think it was a stand.
The thing is, it's not even nearly the worst.
Okay.
All right. Now, when I get to the second line, your mind's ear, your psychoacoustic self is just gonna like, wow, I know what should happen now. No.
So it went down to C.
It went down to C! And that's what made it modulate. That wasn't where we wanted to go. Okay, da-da-dee-da-dee-da-dee. Now, why did I make the sequence sound like that? Because that's what my ear said. Do it. Now, when you're doing a sequence, it's the diatonicness that makes the difference. Now, the next thing is the B flat. What if I took that note and made it B natural? That would make for a different sequence, wouldn't it? But we're not. So don't even think of it. Now this is the one that needs to change, isn't it? Isn't that the third go round? Okay, in my mind, I'm going to Carolina. All right, so over here, I believes I want this situation to happen. And then I start my motive in the key of F. So I want this to be my perfect or my authentic cadence, and then it to align with the next subject, MUT. Okay? And now this time we would probably repeat it in the soprano. And then, but the next time, instead of doing it again, we would go into a sequence that would take us through different things and experiences that heretofore we have never experienced. All right, so now we've got 3 beats here to cadence to that, right? So let's hear what that sequence sounds like, and then maybe you can hear it for yourself. Now if I do my thing again, do your thing.
Boom.
That leaves me 2 beats to cadence. Alright, so if I do this, that means I do this exactly the same. Now the other thing, if I were just going to cadence there, that looks like something that would be a cadence there, yes? So now what am I linking is okay, I'm going to play what I've got there, and you tell me if it's at all convincing. Not so much. Okay, I'm going to simplify this a little bit. It didn't sound quite right going up to that A, so what I'm going to do is now I have to change that. Now, let's think of something to go along with this. Okay. That's the wrong note, isn't it? Okay. Don't love it, don't hate it. But that's all we're gonna do on it today. Now, do you have any questions about your final project? Do you know what the final project is? Because it is due Wednesday. And we're gonna play selected people's stuff in class. Now, I'd like to use the last 15 minutes I will play your pieces individually. If you're not looking to do that, you can skedaddle.
I left my book bag.
That's okay. If you don't want me to play it for you, I will make a few comments.
Can I bring it to you later on today? Look at
Yeah. Sure.
What are we taking up to?
pretty much all the assignment last assignment. You can let them listen to it, tell you what you need to correct on it.
What was it?
And I just got my book back. You doing our production?
I got our paper guys.